It is a new year, which means
New resolutions.
new goals and new content. And to start our new year off, we'll be watching a live action Wattpad story that seems like it was written by ChatGPT. It's gonna be a long year. He was whining, so I had to get him back. Today, we're watching The Divorced Billionaire Heiress. A gripping and heartwarming story of a divorced billionaire heiress who follows her heart and throws away her family's fortune for a man that happens to have a bigger and vaster fortune. I mean, get the bad girl. We're mainly following Isabella Moore, who is a werewolf stepsister, I mean a divorced billionaire heiress, and her encounters with a zany group of people who have somehow both too much and too little exposition.
Wade, you're one of the wealthiest men in the city.
I know.
We have Ryan Jacobs, the wealthiest man in New York and someone who looks like he's about to sell you a house. We have Carson Kingsley, the duplicitous ex who is also my roommate. Hi. And we have Sarah, who seems to just exist to get slapped. The story starts with Miss Moore running from her family's money manager, David, who is riding in a Porsche.
Miss Moore! Miss Moore, please, go home. Inherit your family's fortune.
Which already outlines this show's absolute comedic genius.
Miss Moore, please come back. Inherit your family's fortune. Please, your father will fire me if you don't. You can run, but you can never hide. Dude, we're in a car. Can you just go a little bit faster? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Stop following me. You know why I don't go home. It's worth it to me to live a tough life if it means being with Carson.
As you can probably tell, this is one of those shows that relies heavily on the hide your identity until you reveal it to everyone in dramatic fashion tropes. The problem is that instead of doing one big dramatic reveal, the show decides to do not one,
You're gravely mistaken. I am the daughter of the richest man in the United States.
not two,
Mind your manners. She is from a Moore family.
not three,
Attention, please. The only SVIP guest has arrived at our restaurant.
but four smaller, less dramatic, and more confusing reveals.
There she is.
Isabella, I've come here to propose to you.
The first of these reveals happen when she meets up with Carson for their 3rd wedding anniversary. And it turns out, surprise, surprise, Carson is in love with another woman. Hey, Carson. The fuck, man? In a fit of fury and out of revenge, Isabella proceeds to reveal to both of them that she is actually the daughter of the richest man in the US. And they don't fucking believe her. And honestly, neither do I, because do you really think Elon Musk would give any money to any of his 11 children? Do you really think Isabella is coming before Xe or IZ or Techno Tau Mechanicus? Fortunately, coming to save the day is Ryan Jacobs, who has the coolest intro I have ever seen.
Ryan Jacobs, 26 years old, Wharton School PhD, and the CEO of the Jacobs Group. That over there is my new ride that I just got this morning.
Okay. Awesome.
Damn. I'm only introducing myself like Ryan now. I'm Ray, 20 years old, University of California, bachelor's. This is my cat, who takes most of my money and doesn't pay rent. Isabella and Ryan agree to get married on the spot, and the two couples now confront each other.
Isabella, I know the divorce hit you hard. Hiring a fraud. Excuse me, I am the wealthiest man in New York.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
The die is cast. Will Isabella and Ryan cross Rubicon and conquer their enemies? Or rather just flex all their wealth at a charity event and make all the other rich assholes jealous of them? Because I actually don't know what the conflict here is. Basically what I'm trying to ask is, what's gonna happen? And I also don't know that, because it was at about this point where I started to run into technical issues. And by technical issues, I mean my dumbass realized that this app is actually not free. You see, Shortmax is not like your other short form streaming platforms. Instead of being able to just endlessly scroll, you're only allowed to start scrolling to a certain point before you have to pay with coins. Wait, you thought you could watch 25 episodes of vertical form middle school acting for free?
You mean her dad is Donald Moore? That's hilarious.
What do you think this is? Literally any other streaming platform? Peasant. Having already committed myself to this topic, and definitely not because I had procrastinated for the past 2 weeks playing Civ 6, I was at an impasse. How am I supposed to watch the entirety of this series without paying any money and also in time for my upload schedule? Now, fortunately, Shortmax does have a system where you can earn gold coins for free, with about 30 coins added into your account every time you log in, 100 coins for turning on your notifications, logging in with Google, emails, etc, 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 for a total of up to 700 coins, which at 80 coins per 60-second episode would get me to about episode 15. Okay, so still 10 episodes short. Now, Shortmax also has a system where you could watch ads to earn bonus coins. Cool, so doing some quick math at 80 coins an episode, that's a total of 800 more coins that I need. I get 25 coins per 1 minute of ads watched, so I would have to watch 32 minutes worth of ads in order to finish watching the entire series. Sensing that I was running out of time to post my video, I committed my already stretched, shrunken, and shriveled attention span to watch 32 minutes worth of ads to finish the series. 32 grueling minutes of watching the same ad of some farming game over and over felt like an eternity. My soul felt as if it was binding with time itself. And I had to wake myself up nearly 9 times in the 8 hours that it took for the 32 minutes to pass. Until, finally, I had acquired enough currency to watch the whole series.
There are 76 episodes.
So, now that I've burned about $30 and a couple days worth of my time, I can finally continue to watch this wonderful show. Where do we leave off? Oh yeah, the charity banquet. Isabella manages to meet up with one of the richest men in New York. No, not Ryan Jacobs. The other richest man in New York, because continuity in this show is a joke. And they have a bit of trouble getting into the banquet.
May I see your invitation?
I don't have one.
I'm afraid I can't let you in.
What do you mean you can't let us in?
Let's not make a scene. We're very busy today.
This is kind of where the plot and writing start to fall off hard, because it starts to become just a massive dice roll to see who knows who. You see, Mr. Burnwood knows who Isabella is.
This is the real Miss Moore.
But it seems like nobody else knows who she is. Mr. Burnwood also knows who Sarah is.
Wade, I remember last time you kicked me out.
Be glad I didn't call the cops on you.
But it seems like nobody else knows who Sarah is either. And the bouncer first doesn't recognize Mr. Burnwood, and then seemingly magically in the same sentence recognizes Mr. Burnwood.
We're very busy today. Hold on a second. Mr. Burnwood?
But you know who she is? Or are you visually impaired?
No fucking shit, he's visually impaired. He just pulled a, oh wait, oh no, I think I actually do know him. On the one day I forget to wear my contacts. Okay, think fast. How can we salvage this situation? Just act natural. Just act natural. What would Jesus do right now?
You two, get out of here right now.
Fortunately, Ryan comes in and saves the day right before things escalate. But it turns out that not even Ryan's family's bouncers knows who he is.
If you were Mr. Jacobs, I'd be JP Morgan myself.
Oh my god, I'm so lost right now.
It's not my fault. Aaron messed up.
How dare you blame Aaron? Aaron is my family's butler. It's my job to blame him if he messes up.
Okay.
So they all manage to get in eventually and do rich people banquet stuff when the table has a net worth of $1 billion, but the show budget has a net worth of 3 shekels. There's some more family drama with some random friends and family.
We do not involve Isabella in this. And as for your sister, Baron, I would never marry her because love can't be forced.
Well, it seems to me you don't know how much can be forced.
What do you mean by that?
Until Miss Robin shows up.
Shut your mouth, Baron. How could you speak to your brother-in-law this way?
I will not marry you.
Ryan.
Resistance is futile.
Another person to throw in this love triangle. I mean, love square. I mean, love pentagram. Ryan, being the alpha giga chad that he is, rebuffs Miss Robin's advances. Because despite still believing that Isabella is a poor nobody, he's starting to fall in love with her because he thinks she's still lying to him?
Ms. Robbins, 20 million is a drop in the bucket. You're not that rich, and I will not be leaving Ryan.
That's bold. What a special girl. Poor, but candid.
Yes, candid. A trait that only rich people have. This woman, so poor but respectful. Poor but kind. Poor but is a lying piece of shit. I think I'm in love. We spend the next dozen episodes at the banquet where each side tries to outflex the other. And Isabella continues to try to both hide the fact that she's a billionaire, but also like kind of reveal the fact that she's a billionaire, which only added to my confusion.
Isabella, have you been lying to me?
You just never asked. I was about to tell you and I never got the chance. Oh, and by the way, all of these gifts were going to be for you.
Mr. Smith, are these gifts from you or Isabella?
Oh, they're from,
I mean, like, do you want people to know or do you not want people to know at this point? Because it's just getting real mixed messages. That confusion was only alleviated by this sprinkling of old white men who are there purely for exposition and answering the viewers' many questions.
I'm Chris Jacobs. My offer is 5% of my company shares.
Wow. Is that a lot of money?
That's a lot of money.
I knew it.
My chip represents a 1% share of the North Group.
Wait, those numbers seem really high.
That's something new. 1% of Northern and 5% of Jacobs? Those numbers are really high.
Oh my god, I'm a genius. I think this is a good time to start talking about the atrocious subtitle work that's going on here.
Look at Daisy to impersonate Miss Moore.
Why do I hire a bunch of idiots in the first place?
If you haven't noticed already, every single number in the subtitle is significantly higher than what's actually said in the show.
I give you $20,000 per month.
Leave Ryan now and you will get 10 million.
Ms. Robbins, 20 million is a drop in the bucket.
And it's not like this is on accident either. What's shown here is the default font for DaVinci Resolve's auto-generated subtitles, a program which I also happen to use. And the subtitles are pretty damn accurate. Look, 130 million, $10 million, $1 billion. See, I didn't do anything to change them. Hey, uncool. So the editor had to have, on purpose, gone in and manually changed all the numbers to higher sums than they actually were. And I'm like, for what reason? The numbers are already absurdly high. What difference does it make for deaf people?
10 million? Peasants. 20 million? What?
So back to the show. There continues to be more reveals that Isabella is the heiress, and there continues to be more general disbelief that she is the heiress, including one where her proof is in the form of cupcakes.
Most expensive restaurant in the world. But they only feature this on the menu when Cecilia visits.
What's so hard about making cupcakes?
You don't know pain.
Yeah, no shit, they don't believe you. It's a fucking cupcake. But despite it being just a fucking cupcake, Carson finally believes Isabella is a Moor after some rando chef that we've never met said so, and then proceeding to walk off in the funniest way possible.
You never trusted me. That's your problem. You always treated me like I was just a waitress.
And then finally, we are done with this stupid secret reveal trope.
This restaurant is for VIPs only. Without the card, even if you have money,
Oh my
you can't pay
fucking
the
god.
bill.
As I was mindlessly watching this show, a question kind of popped up in my head. That being, who is this made for? And I'm not saying that because of how terrible the show is. I'm actually speaking more in just a purely economic sense. and also how terrible this show is. I paid $30 to access all of these shows for a week, but the only way to actually watch all the shows within that time frame is if I'm glued to my phone 24/7 on Shortmax. And who has the time for that? I'm already glued to my phone 24/7 on TikTok. I'm just confused because we have so many other good shows on other streaming platforms like Succession, which is basically a better version of this show. And we have streaming platforms with terrible content like Instagram Reels for free. So it begs the question, who is actually watching these? Surely no one in their right mind and who is rational would ever spend their hard-earned money on some knockoff, off-brand, Darman-inspired. Why is the camera zooming in on me? Anyways, we finally get to the final scene where Isabella reveals once and for all that she is indeed the divorced billionaire's heiress, and therefore is actually worth something in the eyes of these horrible, terrible people. This is proved by two of Isabella's former classmates who recognize her, one with a broccoli haircut and the other looking like a knockoff David Tennant, and both of who try proposing to her. In one final gratuitous show of money, both boys try to bribe her with ostentatious amounts of wealth, or rather just a bag stuffed with $10 jewelry that they grabbed off of the rack of Macy's. But Isabella, being the honorable and non-materialistic woman that she is, chooses to forego all of these gifts and run into the arms of her one true love, Ryan, who happens to be the richest man in New York City. And they get married and live happily ever after. Wait, all this and she doesn't even give up her wealth? What's the fucking point? Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you had a wonderful, wonderful new year, and I'm truly excited for what's to come in 2025. I'll be taking a little break for the next couple weeks, but I'll be back to my normal upload schedule around February. Until then, let me know if there's any topics you'd like me to cover. Okay, bye.